Hi, this is a message for Zoe. It's Max Graham, the podcast host, not the DJ. I don't know if you remember me, but we met at that networking thing at Terminus last year. You told me to come back to you with something that didn't suck. Well, Zoe, I think I might have found something. Do you remember that oil baron who died last year, Carl Ingram? He had a heart attack out in Texas last May. Well, he just showed up at the opening party for a skyscraper in Dubai, alive and well, and here's the thing, Zoe. That same night, the first time that anybody has seen him in at least 6 months, he gets found dead. Again. Just call me back when you get this, okay? Last November, Carl Ingram, a man believed to be dead, was found dead in Dubai. Ingram was discovered lying prone next to a toilet, covered in bits of sick. At the time, the official cause of death was stated to be accidental drowning following a case of sudden food poisoning. Something about this death just didn't add up to me. Some men will drown in toilets, it's unavoidable. But to die twice in 6 months? Now that sounds pretty implausible. I couldn't have known it at the time, but I was about to stumble across the most sinister case of true crime I had ever unraveled. Welcome to episode 1 of Crime Hard. As I recall, it was a Tuesday when I had my first breakthrough. Hello? Oh yeah, I got the file. I'm looking at it right now. You idiot! This is the wrong man's death certificate. Who is Marcus Stuyvesant? I asked you to get Carl Ingram. Carl! What do you mean the same night? It turned out that Marcus Stuyvesant had also died that night at the Burj Al Ghazali. Local police reported that he shot himself in the back of the head before plummeting off the skyscraper. This should not have been possible. Stuyvesant had allegedly died in a car accident months before the party at the Burj Al Ghazali. How then could he shoot himself in the head when he was already buried? I was beginning to wonder if these two deaths could be related. Can you please confirm to our audience that you are the coroner who performed the autopsy on Carl Ingram?
Indeed, I am he.
I have some questions that I wanted to ask about your findings. Do you remember what you wrote down as the cause of death?
Yes, as I recall, Mr. Ingram died as a result of accidental drowning. His lungs were full of toilet water. Passed out while throwing up a particularly expensive meal. A shame.
Didn't you find that a bit strange?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
And you said there were traces of rat poison in Carl Ingram's stomach. I'm beginning to wonder whether or not this death was accidental.
Do you have any idea how many of the bodies I examine have traces of rat poison in them?
No.
Most.
After my conversation with the coroner, I remained unconvinced. I put out an ad in a Dubai newspaper saying that I was willing to pay handsomely anyone who would come forward to speak to me about that night. If you're going to find yourself a rat, you need to give him some cheese. I was soon contacted by the most reliable type of informant, a man who had been fired from the Burj Al Ghazali.
You're not going to mention my name, right?
Absolutely not. Thank you for talking to us today. I know this must be incredibly painful for you.
Yes, it is. I still have nightmares, you know. Can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I feel him. I feel his hands.
That sounds awful. I'm so sorry. Still, it could be worse. At least you weren't killed.
Excuse me?
Comparatively, it sounds like you got off quite lightly.
Have you got a question?
So it says here that you were found locked inside a cupboard the morning after the deaths.
No, I was ambushed. An intruder led me into a trap.
Can you describe what happened?
Right, so I was assigned to this balcony, right? Good view of the main floor. I'm told I need to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. Pickpockets or journalists, like, you know. So there I am. I'm looking out for trouble, when I hear this, kind of like a bottle breaking against a wall.
Okay, and then what?
Right, so I walk around a corner, I see the broken glass on the floor, and then I feel his arms around my throat, and then it all goes black.
But you were still wearing your clothes at the time.
What do you mean?
Because I heard when they found you, you weren't wearing any clothes and... It sounds like he's lost signal. Can we get him back on the line, please? There was one question burning a hole in my head. What if this mysterious intruder wasn't just a clothes thief, but also an assassin? There was just one hole in my theory. How could a hired killer have found his way inside the Burj Al Ghazali? It was invitation only, and the police interviewed everybody who'd been invited to the event. None of the people interviewed confessed to being assassins. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. That is how I know that the assassin got into the skyscraper by parachute. Here's my working theory. This assassin drops onto the skyscraper by parachute and makes his way into the building by hacking a window. I checked this, the windows at the Burj Al Ghazali can be hacked. Once inside the building, he changes into a suit to avoid suspicion. Then he knocks out the guard I interviewed. After putting on the guard's uniform, he acquires papers declaring that it is his first day working at the Burj Al Ghazali. It is through this ruse that our assassin meets Marcus Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant leads the assassin onto a balcony where he demands that they demonstrate their proficiency with a knife. Having gained Stuyvesant's trust, it would be easy to shoot him in the back of the head. Next up, Carl Ingram, a man with one weakness: needing to consume food in order to continue to live. What if our assassin worked their way further up the skyscraper, leaving a trail of naked workers in their wake? With the right disguise, they could, in theory, gain access to Carl Ingram's dinner. All it would take would be for the chef to turn his back for one moment, and our assassin could lace this food with rat poison. Upon consuming the meal, he would feel very unwell. As our victim retreated to a bathroom, the killer struck. When one's head is being forced into the bowl of a toilet, it takes less than 10 seconds to drown. All that our mysterious killer would need to do now is escape. Perhaps with a conveniently placed second parachute on the roof of the skyscraper. There is nothing certain in this world, but I am certain of this. Carl Ingram's death was no accident. I don't know who this mysterious killer is, and I don't know if they will ever be found. But you can rest assured, if they are found, if the truth is uncovered, it will be uncovered on Crime Hard with Max Graham, the podcast host, not the DJ.